Hey guys, welcome back to WilmerWoodworks. My name is Steve, and on this channel we'd like to do woodworking videos, tips, tutorials, laser engraving. We cover everything. In this video, I am going to be making a boat. Probably about that big too. Small boat. So what I'm making is a centerpiece. Somebody reached out to me on Facebook and asked, they said, hey, we see all your woodworking. Can you make a centerpiece for a Sweet 16 party? She likes the Tangled movie. So I don't know if you can see, but I will put this up there as well. I've got some reference photos here. So they want to do a nice floral centerpiece of the boat from Tangled. And yeah, so my first instinct is, yeah, sure, I could do that. And then I have to actually think about how I'm going to do that. So that's what this video is going to be. It's going to be my trial and error of making this boat. So first things first, I drew up a full-scale plan, and then I went to the local lumber yard. I go to Advantage Lumber. It's right here in Southwest Florida. I was able to get 6/4, and actually they had this already milled. Usually I get rough lumber, but they had 6/4 poplar, and this is 3.63 board feet, I think. And it is, yeah, 3.5 inches wide. And since it's been already milled down, we're looking at 1 3/8 thick. And it was a 13-foot board. I just asked them to cut it in half so it fit in the truck or the Jeep. And we are at 73 inches tall. So we'll be able to make our boat out of this. It's going to be about 30 inches, maybe about 6 inches tall. Let's see what this measurement says. About 6 inches, 6 1/4 inches, somewhere around there. We're not going too crazy. It does not have to float, so that's good. It just has to sit nicely on the table. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is measure off for the slats. So my thought is I'll make 1/2 inch slats and just overlap. Hopefully that works. And I'm going to go cut these 1/4 inch, maybe a little less, and then I'll plane them down to maybe an 1/8 inch. So yeah, let's get to it. Now, I don't really want to say that I'm going to wing it, but I have a basic idea in my head. I just don't have a plan written down just yet. So if I measure, this is 24 inches on the very top rail. And the top rail I'm going to make a little thicker. So if each slat is 1/4 inch or less, maybe I'll make that top rail 1/2 inch. Just so it'll be a little wider to come down. And you can kind of see that in this reference photo here. So that is a larger piece along with this stern. But we should be able to get everything out of this one board. So let's first start by cross-cutting this piece. So if I cut this to about 3 feet, that should be more than enough material than what we need. Now I've got 2, 4, 6. Now what I'm going to do, these are a little wide, so I'm going to plane these now on my DeWalt planer till I get the thickness I want. These are still a little too thick. And then once I do that, I'm going to just cut these in half, and these will be my 12 slats. So I've got 6 on each side, and just even at this thickness, they do bend, and I can twist these to where I need to be. If I have to, I will soak them in a little bit of warm water to get them to bend around that boat front keel. So right now, I will plane these down. All right, so let's get it going. With everything cut to size, I'm just testing right now to see if all of these will bend without issue, and it seems pretty fine.
I had a piece of poplar, so now I'm just marking off where the base will be. So this will be the bottom of the boat. And this is where I will attach all of the slats to. Just measuring the center and then measuring where I will bend that to the edges, just to make sure it looks good. Cutting this here on my scroll saw. As you can see, I did tilt the table on an angle a little bit because I wanted the boat to flare out on each side. And then I just cut the tips off because I will have those ornate figureheads on there. I used Titebond 3 for the entire build, and I had these carpenter pencils that I just put as a spacer just so there would be a little bit of gap between the bottom of the base and the first slat. These micro jig clamps really came in handy with the Harbor Freight bench. They just neatly go into those bench dogs and clamp everything in place so I could make sure everything looked decent. Added some more additional glue. Make sure all that glue was filling every single crevice, especially for this very first slat, because every other slat will be built off of this. And I just took an Irwin clamp at the very end there to give it a little bit more of a flare. And then with some brads and my Craftsman brad nailer, I just towed that in place. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, I gave it a light sand. Next day, I came back and I just started building on. So again, same procedure, a little bit of glue, bent each piece into place, and this is where clamps are your friend. So I was able to use my quick clamp in the center there, and then just some of these very small C-clamps. And I let this set up for about an hour or two between each slat. I did do one side complete before moving on to the second side. Always gluing in the center, and then I did each end. And the more that I did it, the more I learned to use more and more clamps just to get that even pressure throughout. But it really did move along very nicely. I think one side may have taken me maybe a night or 2 nights, and then 2 nights for the opposing. So out of the remaining piece of poplar, I just traced this mast out. Well, not mast, but well, whatever the piece is called. Traced that out and I cut it on my scroll saw, and I actually got annoyed. What I need to do is I need to make a base for the scroll saw so I can clamp it down to my bench. And I think actually while I was cutting this, I may have broken one of the blades, and I believe that's why I annoyingly, and I was very tired at the time, I decided to opt for my scroll saw, or not my jigsaw, because I thought that would be a better option. And you notice that clamp is holding that piece for dear life. But I think after maybe 1 or 2 drops, I was able to get this cut enough that I was able to get it over to the sander. Sometimes I get into that manic mode of I just need to get this one procedure done, so I go a little crazy just to get it past that point. This is some of that, I think it's high tape or happy tape that I was able to score off of one of those Amazon creator things that they sent to me. Works out really well. It sticks when you need to, and it comes apart when you need it to. So it's best of both worlds. I hate when I use carpet tape. Sometimes it's a bear to try to get those apart, but this is manageable, so I would recommend it. And now for just a little sanding. I was able to find my mask, and I'm not usually good about wearing the mask when I'm doing sanding or cutting and things like that, but I am glad I had it for this project because I was removing quite a bit of material.
Hey, I want to just take a quick time out here from the video to give a huge shout out to all of my paid supporters. Your contributions have helped me to continue to make great content, upgrade my equipment and my shop, and can help me continue to share my love of woodworking with everyone. I just want to say thank you for believing in WilmerWoodworks and being part of the growing community. If you want to join the community, be sure to hit that join button below. But enough of that, let's get back to this great build.
And then after the sanding comes the shaping. So I just used a combination of rasps and chisels to make sure that both of these figureheads were the same. You notice they are still taped together, so I'm making sure that the front and the back are going to be identical. And then after I was able to cut that center, I did just use a whole bunch of rasps to shape that down. And at one point, I think I even borrowed Nick's rotary tool that he had, because I don't really have a great rotary tool right now. Here you can see that one side is completely glued up. And here I'm just going to, I'm cutting off a lot of material right here just to get an eyeball of where I need to trim that down. This definitely was a fun build. I don't know if I would have quoted what I did quote after I know now how much work was involved. But like I said, it was fun. I got to learn a few new skills, a little bit of problem solving. It was a little nerve-wracking at times, but I think everything came together pretty well. I spent a lot of time shaping with the rasps and the chisels. Actually, I was able to live stream some of that, so I'm not sure if anybody was able to tune in to that. And here you can see, after a lot of shaping, some additional pieces glued in place just as supports. This is a very rough stage of the build. I think this was before I even started shaping those noses. I had to trim those down quite a bit. Here I'm just removing some of the excess glue. You never have too much glue. I mean, it's definitely a lifesaver when it comes to these little pieces. There was a little bit of pressure when I was putting the bends on it, so I probably should have put some ribs in there just to hold it a little bit better, but since it's such a small boat, I didn't think there was an issue. And of course, more sanding. I think you could see in this clip here, I don't know what happened to all the audio, so there is no audio. Actually, I do know what happened. I was plugging the jack on my Sony, the input jack, into the wrong audio. It was plugging it into the headphone jack and not the microphone in jack, which I didn't find out until after filming. So, and then I think I just used the wood stain that was, I think it was a bare chestnut stain. Came out beautiful. It was a really nice color, nice deep rich color. And poplar, I mean, it takes color and stain very nicely. And then after I stain this, I just let that sit and dry for about 24 hours before coming back and hitting it with, I think I hit it with 5 or 6 coats of the polyurethane. So this what turned out to be very nice. On the inside, I got a little bit of rope and some felt, and I also put the felt on the bottom too, just to finish it off and make it look a little bit more presentable. I know they were going to put a whole bunch of flowers in it, so nobody really was going to be looking inside of it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this special build. Really creating this Tangled boat was definitely a labor of love, and a reminder that sometimes the most magical projects start with just a simple idea and a little creativity. Well, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more DIY builds, woodworking, and creative projects. I'd love to hear in the comments below what you think,
and what you think the project I should tackle next would be. Thanks again for being a part of the journey, and remember, adventure is out there, you just have to build it.